Hello everyone, this is Maria from mariascraftingcorner.com. Welcome to another card making video. I am very excited to let you guys know that I was invited to participate in the Global Stampin Video Hop. And well, if you know me, you know I'm about like up there in the moon. I'm so happy. So I just want to take one little moment to thank you, Mitoso Crafts, for inviting me over to collaborate in their video hop. And check down below after the video. You will have a list of all the videos that are participating in the video hop. So without further ado, guys, I am going to go to the crafting table. I do want to say this is a pre-recorded video. I have not done pre-recorded videos in a while. I tend to just go with the flow and do lives, but the video hop goes on Fridays, and so I have at that time my paper pumpkin kit alternatives, and so I figured this was probably the best. So wish me luck, guys. Okay, so today, so this month's theme is in colors. So we could use anything we wanted that included in colors. Stampin' Up in the new catalog kind of just put out 2 designer series paper that have a focus on the in colors. One of them, and I have them here so I don't forget. One of them belongs to a big suite, and that one is called Abundant Beauty. And this is the paper, guys. It's absolutely gorgeous. First of all, I really like the colors. And if you don't know much about them, please send me an email to Maria at mariascraftingcorner.com, and we talk a bit about them. This has an awful glare, I'm sorry. But they are Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, Peach Pie, Chai Shamrock, and Summer Splash. Those are the names of the ink colors. And if I would have been a little bit prepared, I probably would have had like my ink pads here, but I didn't. I am going to show you though. These are just our regular pattern paper, and so this is our Chai Shamrock. I have a hard time pronouncing that one, guys. This is Petunia Pop. This one is Peach Pie. Oh, my bad. So this one was Summer Splash, and this one is Chai Shamrock. Sorry, guys. And finally, here is our Pretty in Pink. So those are the 5 colors that are new to Stampin' Up this year, and I think they are so bright, so beautiful, and a pleasure to work with, really. So let's get going. A while ago, guys, I had made for my paper pumpkin kit a video or a card that I believe it is called Double Flap Fold. I am really bad with names. If you've been here before, you know that. If you have not, I'm really bad with some of these names. But bottom line, it does have a double flap, and the way I see it, it works kind of like a book, because you open your card and you open another part, and it's just a beautiful option to exhibit or to really put out our gorgeous designer series paper. I'm gonna move this a tiny bit, guys. I'm sorry. There you go. That's a little bit better. I always have to tape my my grid paper because I am awful with with the paper when it's moving. It completely distracts me. I have taken the liberty of cutting most of the papers, and even did some of the stamping and the coloring. We are going to be using, on top of those papers that I showed you, let me bring this one up here. I just had them further away. So Stampin' Up in the new catalog has a memories, it's called Unbound Beauty Memories and More card pack. And this is what you will get from me if you buy this month. $50 or more before shipping and taxes. But these are just gorgeous options for you to play with. And I just think that this, look at, I love this one. They are just a great companion. If you are a beginner crafter, then this, I mean, pretty much you just put this somewhere and then you have a card, right? Or if you're into scrapbooking, they're very useful as well. I think they are a great companion for a card making or scrapbooking, or I guess any paper crafting for that sense. So don't disregard them just because they can be very useful. So we're going to be using quite a bit of these. We're going to be using the Unbounded Beauty paper, and we are going to be using Spotlight on Nature stamp set. I thought I was going to use the dies too, but it's just the stamp set. And really, we're just going to be using this one, and we colored, and then this Dear Friend. Because there's only two different, sentiments in here. I did bring the Country Bird House, because it has this beautiful sentiment. It says, hoping you have the best day ever. And it's just not specific to birthday. It can be, but you can just tell somebody, I hope you're having the best day ever. So it's kind of more general, and I really like that because the card has no specific, what could it be, a specific connotation to it. I think maybe there's just one part that says grateful for you, and I'll show you. So let's get working. This is a piece of peach pie, and it measures, and let me get this because I have a feeling I'm going to forget all these measurements. So whoops, all of a sudden I can't see. Let me see. So this one measures 10 by 5.5, and we are going to score these together at 4 1/4 and 8.5. So let's go ahead. Like I said, 10. So it's 5 by 5.5 by 10. And I'm going to cut these. Okay. And now we're going to score at 4 1/4. And then 8.5. Okay. And there we go. And we are going to move this here for 1 minute. We're going to fold these mountain. And if you're new to card making, this is valley, so we're going to fold valley, and this would be mountain. That kind of makes sense, right? Okay, so we're going to fold valley, and then we're going to fold the other side valley as well. Okay. And let me really crease these score line here. So what's going to happen is this side is going to go inside. So let me give you a little tip. There's a lot of cards that include kind of this setting, right? Like something that is inside another area. I always end up taking about 1/16 of an inch of one of the sides. Like in this case, I'm going to take 1/16 of an inch of the front side. And it would just help a lot with that closure. So let me show you here. So that's 1/16 of an inch. I'm going to remove this again. And so this is what I mean now. These card folds perfectly okay, right? Without any problems. There's no, I don't know how you call this, like bumping. Like when it doesn't fit well, it kind of creates these little curvature in the paper because it's against this. So again, that's just a little trick. The next piece we're going to need is one piece of, again, this is peach pie, and this measures 3 by 7. This has already been cut out. We're going to score this real quick at 3.5, which would be the half of that 7. Okay, so we have now a little flap, double flap in here. Let's move this out of the way again. We're going to bring our bone folder to give that a good crease. And now we have the basic of our card, or the structure of our structure, the foundation of our card, ready. We're going to start by adding the bigger layers. If you're new here, I like layer over layer. It's one of my it's one of the things I like the most, but I know not everybody loves that. I have chosen for this card these two papers that belong to that DSP I showed you earlier, and they both have a that peach pie. This one is definitely more discreet. This one has a strong, I don't know how to say, like a strong point to it. So but I really like this one. This is the one I'm going to put here in the front. So remember that we took the 1/16 of an inch. Each of the top layers of the, not the top, the bottom layers of the white ones, these measure 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And so when we have had that cut that 1/16, now this is going to be really tight on this end. I am not really too concerned about it, because what I have done in the past is just move this all the way towards the edge. Just calculate it there, and so leave some in here, but just make that closer to the edge, and you will still be able to see the peach pie. Now, if you are like me and you want to be, you're going to be a little like, oh my god, that's not working well, you can totally take a 1/16 of an inch off, and we're going to do that real quick. Just remember that using the right side of your trimmer is one of the most useful things out there. So if you align your paper here with these long brown area right there, you'll be taking off the 16, and now these will fit perfectly well on that one, and we're going to do the same thing with the top layer. The top layer measures 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and we're just taking the 1/16. I am Spanish speaking, guys. If you've been here before, you probably know that. So I try not to say 16th too often, because 11/16 and so forth gets complicated in my brain. So I just tell you what the 1/8 is and cut the 16th extra. That's kind of cheating, but it works really well. Oh my gosh, I love these colors. I have to say that I love that Petunia Pop mixed with the Pretty in Pink, and that's the Summer Splash. I love that one. Okay, let's go ahead and do this, adding these to our layer, our first layer, which is white, and then we'll add this to our card base. I always have an easier time putting these kind of horizontal to me instead of vertical. I don't even want to think what is it that it makes it easier, but it does. And see, now that we took off that little 16th, it like respecting the measurement that or the initial 16th that we took off, it looks pretty well centered, right, in a line. So I really like that. Let's go ahead and do that one. Okay. And there we go. Again, this is pretty bright, but I really like this. I'm going to stick in this card to the Petunia Pop and the Peach Pie colors. Maybe I will include a tiny bit of that Pretty in Pink, but these are the main colors of the card. So these areas, so you can do two things with this area. You can totally put extra paper in here. So we're going to do that. We're going to bring a piece of paper, and we're going to cut 2 pieces and I'm actually going to bring a bigger piece. So these end up measuring 1 1/2. So we need 2 pieces of 1 3/8. There we go, 1 3/8. Oh, you know what? I think I had cut them. Oh, I did cut them. Look at me being all prepared and all. Here they are. 2 pieces of 1 3/8. But I just decided that these 2, I just want to go ahead and emboss. And you can use whatever embossing folder you have. I am going to choose one of my new faves from our new catalog. And I'm just going to bring my big embossing machine here and we'll do this together. So this embossing folder is called Dashing Designs. I have to tell you guys, embossing in white to me is one of my faves. I think it just turns completely, gives it a dimension, but it just makes it alive. I absolutely love embossing or dry embossing in white. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, I'm going to remove these 2. So I'm going to put my embossing folder here. Take this out of the way because, yes, it gets busy in here. And we're going to bring those 2 pieces. So see what I was saying? Just with that, it creates that gorgeous dimension. And this is what we're going to add in here. I am not going to add any other DSP or anything because I want to kind of balance the paper and how colorful it is with some white. Okay, so we have 1 and I'm going to bring this one too. That's the front. Sometimes I've been known to kind of glue things badly. Look, put the glue on the wrong side, not pay enough attention. Okay, so there we go. So this is how this card is going so far. Isn't this gorgeous? I absolutely love it. Let me make sure that this is glued all the way. Okay, so now we are going to let's put this aside for 1 minute while this glues all the way. I'm not sure why it's not gluing. Let's give it a minute. And we're going to bring that little piece that we had cut and scored before. And this one, so what's going to happen is this piece comes on the front in here, just like that, okay? And it's going to have, actually, yeah, it goes in there, but this is exactly how this is going to look. Okay, so let me put this back together. Just like that. Okay, so we'll have this initial piece in here. Then this will open. We will open this. This will open, and we still have some extra stuff in here. So I have to tell you guys, I absolutely love this card. I think it's so, I don't know what the word is. So it's just so beautiful, and it gives you that opportunity to showcase all our DSP and all different things. So let's get this out of the way for 1 minute. So these are the pieces I'm going to be using in the front. So I'm going to extend this, right? And not that. Let me see, guys. Where is my mistake? There is my mistake. So you're going to need 5 pieces of, I'm sorry, guys, because I don't recall all these. These measures 2 7/8 by 3 3/8. This layer I have here measures just 1/8 smaller. So 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. And this one is just an edge smaller, just a tiny bit smaller. And like I told you earlier, I had already stamped and colored this. I used a combination of the Petunia Pop and Fresh Freesia to create this, and the leaves were created with the Chai Shamrock blends. Blending and coloring is one of my favorite things, and so I couldn't waste this opportunity to do some of that. So I'm going to do this one in here. And if you notice, I just cut this piece and it's barely noticeable. So it's just to kind of unify, kind of create that continuity between the front and the back with that color. So that's why I ended up adding this one. So let's go ahead and add our pieces. I do not color this in camera most of the time, because what happens is I take a long time. I'm a slow colorer, guys. I can probably last forever trying to color some of these. So I am just saying out loud, guys, it takes me a very long time to color, and that's why I tend not to include the coloring. I, in this case, chose to go ahead and stamp also the dear friend, because I used the Misty to do that. Let me put this in here. I'm just making sure this is right, and I'll show you what I did, so at least you have an idea of how these came about. So what I did is I cut my little piece, and I actually need to clean that. Look at that. And I wanted just to have these together, right? So what I did is I put it, let me see this in here. So I included them both. I have my little piece in here. I'm going to bring the backward of one, something like that, right? And just decided where I wanted them. And that way it's easier to just have one stamp. If you've been here before, you probably know this anyways, but I just cannot leave without my Misty. I am not very good at stamping straight, so the Misty is definitely a savior for me. So we are going to put some glue in here, right? And it's more or less about, just remember, we're going to glue this on these flap, and that is about 1.5 inches. So I'm going to put a little bit more in here. You can totally use tear and tape or your Stampin' Seal Plus. It has been my experience, guys, that most of the time when you have these like really in-depth 3D embossing folders, the tear and tape does not work as well. So what I'm going to do, guys, okay, let me put this in here. What I'm going to do is very consciously, I'm going to open these. I'm going to give these a turn so it's closer to me, which means I need to put this backwards, right? And I'm going to align this here, and just using, you know, kind of just eyeballing these, I am looking for the center of it. If you're not sure what the center is, which I am not sure what the center is, I will try to keep it a little bit to the top. We have talked about this in the past, and that is when you put a little bit towards the top, it kind of like really pleases the eye. Don't ask me why. I just heard about that a long time ago, and I've been keeping that as a true statement. So these will come up here, and this is the front of our card, and I think that's super, super cute. And now we're going to open this, and we're going to work on decorating this, okay? So I have thought ahead of time very well the colors and the papers I'm going to use, and I usually and I have been asked this in the past, so I usually try to take into account like the patterns. So one of that memory pack that I was showing you earlier had this beautiful color combination between that peach pie and the petunia pop, and it just says grateful for you. So I want this piece, actually that one doesn't go here, I want this piece right here. And I think it looks really well against that that pattern paper, because this has a little bit of a pattern but has a lot of white in it. And then because that one is busy, I thought, okay, well, I'm going to bring this one, and this brings just a pop of color to me. I just think this is a wonderful color combination, and altogether it looks pleasing to the eye, I think. I'm just saying that because sometimes you may not have the same ideas, right, as I do. So just always think how you see it and how it works for you, how you feel that that color combination or that pattern combination pleases you. Okay, let's go ahead and add this one in here. Okay, so we're adding our first piece, and now I'm going to add this other piece, and this is also from that memory paper pack. So the memory paper pack worked for me today as a kind of like as DSP, because we don't have a whole lot of patterns in coloring combination. We have only what's in the Unbounded Beauty, and I just wanted something that had both colors, like these two, right? Something where I could play with both of them, and that's why I ended up using that memory pack, and I was super, super happy that I actually had it with me. Now, this beautiful butterfly belongs to this, these butterflies belong to the Perennial Lavender Suite, and now I don't have the name of them, of course, why would I? You know what, guys? I forget if they are still available. I hope they are. And if not, I am so sorry. I do like to use everything I have. So that is one thing. And what I did is since I have my blend markers, my markers are out, I just used the darkest of them to blend this out. To blend this out. Sorry, to color it. And all we're going to do now is just add some glue. And of course, this is kind of rebellious. It's always what happens in my videos. That we're going to put just tiny bits of, or drops of glue all around our little butterfly here. And I am just going to put it in here. So I used the darker Petunia Pop because I really wanted to pop against the pattern paper, and I think it just does such a beautiful job at that. Now we're going to move in here, and let me bring, so I have thought that I wanted something, again, just using those patterns, and this also belongs to that pack, and I am just putting this one in here just to create some interest. I am not going to put anything in here right now, but I will use these to sign my card when I send it, and this is where we're going to put this friend. So let's go ahead and adhere all the layers. I was thinking that I actually have one of those ephemera packs, and I was wondering if I should use that, but I did not even check on them. So let's not get all excited. So I'm just going to bring this one here. We're going to create that sense of a layer with the head, with I would say like 2/3 of the side, right? And then there's going to be still a layer on this side. So I'm okay with this, and it looks pretty cute, I think. And I'm just going to bring this one, and you can put this one however you want, this way or that way. I think I'm going to put it this way. It is just one of the pieces from that pack, again, from the memory pack. And this just allows for many, many options. You could write here, thanks. You can just like bring something, and like if you had little hearts, put them in here. Ooh, that's a good idea. Let me see. You know what I'm thinking? I have these little flowers from here. Could we just use these little flowers and put a few in here? Oh, look, that's a great idea. This is probably not a great idea now that it's already there, but let's go ahead and try it. So I'm going to bring my little flower, and I'm going to stamp. And I'm going to step up here. I'm just going to play with this around. Okay, that's getting too dramatic in there. And one last one. Okay, so we just created, just like that, what I was looking for. I just wanted these to really, really look like it all belonged together with the same colors, right? Okay, so let me put this out of the way. The last part of this card is going to be, so we needed an extra piece. This piece measures 3.5 by 3. We're going to add this in here, like this belongs to the card right here, kind of like following this. So this has to be aligned with this piece, right? So we're going to work on that. And then we are going to add some decorations to that piece. So I'm going to add the decorations first, and then we'll glue, we'll align it so it really works. This is, again, part of that memory pack. And I got, again, from that Country Bird house, these gorgeous, hoping you have, look at that, guys. Hoping you have the best day ever. And there you go. And so I just add that there. And I just like how gorgeous this is going to all come out with the colors. And it's just so bright and beautiful, isn't it? So, there goes Maria, made a mistake. But we're going to leave it like that. Instead of cutting these an eighth smaller on the side, I cut it just the same. So we're going to leave it like I meant that. That works well for me. And now we're going to add these to the inside in here. So we're going to add this to the inside layer, or the last layer, the bottom layer. There you go. That's straight enough. And the last thing we're going to do is, before we glue all this, I'm just making sure this is aligned. So that looks like it's aligned. I am moving this a little further from that fold, because we want this to be able to fold. If we put it all the way against the fold, it's going to give some hard time. So I'm actually aligning these with the white layer. That probably, helps us keep about a 1/16 and 1/8 of an inch, and it just helps very, very much with the closing. And because I struggle with this, I'm just going to put some glue in here, make sure that that's aligned, still making sure that that is still, center with. And then I'm going to come back here all the way, and we're going to put some glue on the rest of it. And there we go. And I'm going to hold this for 1 second. And if you see here, it moved. So let's move this, put it back straight. And there we go. 2 minutes there, right? Hold, so it stays in. And that is our card, guys. I have to tell you, I absolutely love this card. The last thing that occurs to me, and let's see if it works in the end, I was thinking we can bring a piece of our it's called the bordered ribbon, and this one is in Petunia Pop. And I was thinking that maybe I'm just going to cut a big piece, and maybe we can just add a piece of color in here like that, and a little ribbon. Let's see how this looks once we close it. And add kind of like a little bow in here, right? I think that will look good. So this does not have a front or a back, so that's good news. I am not going to do, I don't know how to say it. Like, I'm not going to go very crazy. I really struggle with bows. And if you've been here before, you know I'm not lying. But okay. I think that's more or less at the same level. So we're going to go ahead, make a bow here. Best case scenario, I'm going to take that out of the way because we don't need any non-assistance. And make a bow here. Please don't copy me while I'm making my bow. You probably do bows 3 or 4 times better than I do, which is why I never do them in camera. I'm just very honest, but that's the idea, right? So we're going to try to bring this bowy thingy here. Okay, let me see if that works. Okay, that is what I want, ish. Okay, I think we got it, guys. I'm going to cut a tiny bit. I don't want these really tied up. Okay, let me see one thing. What do you guys think? So, I think I'm not sure I want it now. Like, I would like maybe just this without the bow. That's probably a good idea. Okay, so now we can bring our tear and tape. I'm just going to bring a big piece of tear and tape in here, and I'm going to add it. And am I adding it to the right side? I'm adding it to the right side. So let me remove that out of the way. So I'm just, that's probably like about a 4/3/8 of an inch front border. And I'm just going to go ahead and remove that. And I have my take your pick, which I don't know why I'm using my nails for that, right? I'm going to put this one in here this way, and now I'm going to go around. I don't like this to be super tight, and align this, and we're going to glue this there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a tiny piece extra in here, and so these can go on top of our ribbon. Whoops. Maybe. There we go. And then we are going to just put this straight there. And that way we can cut this, and it's barely noticeable, right? So when I come here, now I have that beautiful extra color of petunia pop, and I'm just going to leave it like that. Now, if you want, I was thinking the other thing you can do is just a little knot. That is always a good possibility if you're like me and don't know how to make bows and dots and knots. But if you do just that, like that, then all of a sudden you have this beautiful knot in there. And I think I'm going to leave that one. Whoops. Just one there, and I'm going to cut the other one more or less at the same size. And that's it, guys. Okay, so now we have these gorgeous little book double flap. Double flap. And so we have this flap that opens, then it opens into that beautiful butterfly. You have this here saying you're grateful for you, and then you open back this up with 2 extra different panels. You can make so many things with this. It's crazy. The last thing I want to do, if I find them, it'll be amazing. It's putting some bling bling, or at least some adhesive dots in here. I'm just trying to see where they're at, but I can't find them now. Ah, I found them, guys. This is so exciting. So we're going to close this all back up, and I'm going to bring, let's see which one I want. I think I'm going to bring the purple ones, or the petunia pop ones, and as you guys can tell, I'm liking that petunia pop. Maybe I should bring the, no, I think the petunia pop, because this is a very, very peach pie one. And I'm just going to put them randomly here in our card, right? There's so many beautiful places to put this one. I think, let's see, I think I want this one around here. Maybe there. There we go. Okay. So these are called the 2024-2026 in color resin dots. They're just super useful. They are very colorful. The only thing that I think I would have done that I didn't do today is using a magnet. So this folds flat. Because of the amount of layers I tend to use, things don't fall flat as I would like to. So if you put a little magnet in here and in here, it will totally hold together. But ta-da! This is the card for today's video hop with Global Stamping. Okay, let me move here. Thank you guys for being here today. I really appreciate your support. And don't forget that down below in the description box, you will find the measurements of the card. You will find also a link to all the other participants in the Global Stampin Video Hop. So I am encouraging you to go and visit them and just learn some new tricks, some new tips, and just get inspired by the amazing creativity within this group. Okay, guys, thank you so much, and I will be seeing you soon.